Hey guys, how are you? I think today is going to be very different for many things. I'm going to talk about things I don't normally talk about outside of certain closed circles, but I feel like now is very much the time. And so those of you that have been following this docuseries know that a lot of this is about my stress and my trauma and making the shift, creating that new reality. For me personally, and those of you that are kind of following along the series, if the parts that are resonating, it's about stepping fully into new earth energy. Sorry, energy's been very intense since last night. And since I woke up this morning, I actually had to reach out to some of my peers and really ask if they were getting the same information and feeling and sensing some of the things in the same way that I was, or, emotionally kind of sensing different information. And, the thing is we all sorry, there's so much energy coming in right now. It's really hard for me to even think about talking. We all interface and sense energy differently. But we can all have different parts of that information. And that's what's coming in right now, is this different puzzle is being put together of information. And because those of us that are already in new earth energy and well anchored in it and helping with, actually we're working with energy in the new earth, the one beyond the new earth that we're birthing right now. Those of us that are interfacing with that energy on a regular basis are now building bridges and helping people step into new earth energy. So this whole docuseries about creating that reality is about that. It's about building the bridges into new earth and really anchoring into new earth patterns. And and I'm sorry, I've never actually channeled into a video before. And the information comes very quickly. I talk very fast, and I will try to slow down some. I had no idea I was going to be doing this as part of my docuseries. It would probably be a good time to mention that the reason this channel doesn't even have my name on it is I have not been fully myself around some folks for specific reasons, which I don't have to go into now. It's not what this is about. It's not about me hiding or having any shame. It's part of a directive that I'm currently under from my counsel. And there's timing and reasoning to when my full self will be revealed to certain groups and people that I am with on a regular basis. That time is not now. It is coming, but it's not here yet. Which is why it surprised me that the information is coming in so clearly to do for this video today. But there's an energy that's happening and a reason that we need to talk about anchoring into your truth and your light and your frequency of love right now, and why the uncertainty that everybody has been feeling. So collectively this morning, I woke up feeling a very dense energy. It felt very heavy in terms of weighted. I hadn't actually put an emotional label to it yet. That's where I was coming from after I did my check-in. Others were confirming they feel the collective shift has occurred as well, and they're feeling fear and sadness. And on the other side of that, it's very interesting. We're kind of holding two energies right now. There's this energy of the fear, the overwhelm, the sadness, what the world's happening right now. I didn't know this kind of thing existed. What's coming up? What's really rising up within you, and kind of balanced also at the same time with this radical sense of excitement, because we know that we're here. We're here right now. We're birthing into something. That's why we're all here. I was getting that emotional rush again. So there is the message that I think for today's video is really for everybody. It's not just about me. It's about all of us anchoring with where we are right now. So if you found your way to this video and you have no flipping clue what I'm talking about yet, and you're like, this is all very cryptic, what is going on? It's okay. I'm talking about the energy that's around us that we're all sitting in, and about the new earth, the new paradigm that is emerging around us. Sometimes the term new earth can be conflicting for people, in the sense that it can sometimes create confusion, because as humans, up until now, we've lived in a particular matrix programming construct where things are very literal. They are very black and white. And it's why we label, it's why we have a lot of the systemic issues that we've had. The problem with that, though, is so we create this confusion, because to us, those are people that are still within linear time, that haven't broken out. If you hear the term new earth, you have a literal concept of there being a new planet being born, but it's an awareness and an expansion into a different energy point. We're moving into a different matrix grid. We're moving into a different awareness and expansion grid, and the amount of energy we're working in, and understanding that time isn't really time, and it's not a thing, and it's just another illusion that we've been under. But as that veil of illusion continues to lift and gets thinner and thinner, your ability to interact and see differently is what's happening. And oh my God, I had no idea they were going to talk about that. Okay, so over the weekend, I felt like I was in my own little egg. I felt like I was sitting in like an energy pod. I didn't even feel like I was present half the time. And so I was clearly off doing other things. And it was a different type of upgrade, similar to some I've experienced before in the last couple of years, but very different as well. Like my brain was really, really functional, but there also wasn't. That's where it was like I wasn't present. It's like I had information going on, but I couldn't also interact and engage. It was very, very weird. But the important part of that, the message was, is that this week there's a massive energy shift. We started into the new galactic Mayan energy, which happened yesterday. And there was a big shift with that. But I was also getting the information to prepare about what's coming, that there will be a shift coming. The energy is getting ready to change. And for me personally, this is now where my new patterns and behaviors and stuff are going to start kicking in. That's my personal side note. That's all I got on the docuseries. But back to the channeling part is, you've got to anchor. Do not allow fear to get in your way. Those of you that are in your early days of waking up are going to start experiencing and seeing things that some of us have been aware of for a while. It's not news. So if you interact with somebody and they're just kind of like, yeah, and it seems like really harsh, and it seems like, why would you be reacting to child sex trafficking that way? Or why would you be reacting to what's going on with our government in the United States? Why would you be having such a neutral viewpoint? Because some of us have already been aware of this for a really long time. We've done our processing of it. We've gone through that, becoming aware and internally digesting it and transmuting it for ourselves, so that when you were encountering it, we would be able to help you through that process. And so if you're lean in, that's all they keep saying, is just lean into it. Do not get distracted from the path that you're on. If you have been given a clear pathway that you are on, don't engage with what's going on in the periphery. And this happened in dream state the other night for me, where I was with several other people that were like me. And we were on this path. We were in like this weird little wagon situation, but we were moving down the pathway, right? Collectively together. And there's all of this violence and tragedy and mayhem happening on either side of the path of this road that we were going down. And it was really, really hard. I remember being in that place. It was so hard to see what was happening in real time. But knowing that we had to turn away from the violence to not be distracted, because we had to stay engaged and on the path, because we are helping to bring in the new, to bring in the law of one, to bring in unity, to bring in that high frequency of love, to bring in that higher level of consciousness and anchoring it down in. The violence that I was seeing in the dream was horrifying and appalling. It was these little vignettes I kept seeing of different things, from people being hunted down for who they were, to police brutality, to other volatile things occurring. I'm not going to walk through all of that, but they're just little vignettes and snippets. But they kept saying is just stay true to the path, stay on the path, do not get into the weeds. And I think that collectively, if we come back to anchoring ourselves with where we are supposed to be, because each of us that are on these missions as way showers and light workers, as energy channels, as healers, as leaders of birthing the new paradigm, need to be reminded, because there's this human part of you that wants to continue to tell you that you're doing something wrong by not getting engaged. But our specific, some people are meant, that's their mission, is to be in the engagement. They're to be bringing about the view of the toxicity and to be bringing about the dark shadow pieces so that we can heal collectively. But some of us are just supposed to be on the path and anchoring the light and doing the bigger work behind the scenes, under the ground, in the shadow places, and from the cosmic position to bring about the galactic healing that's needed on this planet right now, and then for our galaxy and on beyond. And so if that doesn't make any sense to you, it's okay. Maybe it just gets to plant the seed for you that at some point in time you need to come back to this, and it will resonate for you whenever you watch it, whenever you come back to it. For those of you that this did resonate with, I just encourage you to continue to anchor in, to not get distracted by the minutia of the details going on. Do not get distracted by the side. Stay anchored in a place of love and compassion, of unity, and of anchoring in that law of one energy, and bringing about that collective unity that we need. That does not mean necessarily that you need to be opening your mouth about it. If you have been given a directive as part of your mission to be a mouthpiece of love for that, then be a mouthpiece of love. Being a mouthpiece of love does not necessarily look like, let me hold up the mirror and show you all the effed up stuff about you. If you're still in that place, which is not loving, then you're just getting your internal work that needs to be done and helping, that's part of that. But if you've transmuted past that and you've been given the directive of bringing about this place of light and unity, then stay in that. Be a beacon of light for other people to come to you and ask those bigger questions, or you can then be able to push that light transmission out through healing and whatever that modality is for you, and allowing that to take place instead of, beating the crap out of everybody else with information and news. So find what your directive is, not your ego, not what your ego is telling you, responses out of fear or anger or being in the middle and the minutia of everything. Remember, as leaders, we are being called to something higher, and you've got to process that bullshit, but then step into that neutral. I always talk about going general and being neutral. Find that neutral zone, which is a higher perspective, which is being able to look at the macro picture, not the micro, and being able to hold that space from a general emotion space. And it's all going to be okay. Whatever starts to play out, know that we're all going to be okay. It's going to be hard and painful to watch and to process, which is why they say anchor now. Find your peace with it. Find that neutral zone that you can go to that's from a higher place of being able to see the bigger picture of what's at play. And find a group of people that you can gain support from that resonate with where you are now. Most of us have been rapidly cycling through groups of people. We're attracting new people. Some people we've had to let go of for a while because we're no longer resonating. Just keep thinking about, where's that match? Where's the resonation? Where's the frequency match? And you don't have to grieve. Like, the other people that you may have let go of for a while, they're going to come back up to match you. And if they don't, then they aren't part of this season, this particular walk that we're in. And it's okay. Just know that everything's all okay. and find your things to anchor with every day, to create your sacred ceremony. If you watch one of the other episodes about sitting and observing all, and then creating that sacred ceremony, which is really, really important. And then you can, watch those two. You can skip over the one in between about body image and come into this one, because these are the connected points of information. And I didn't expect any of this, so I'm really sorry. It was just a big jumbly, rumbly mess. But yeah. Bye, guys.